Corruption-accused Michael Lomas is set to spend his first night in a South African prison following his extradition from the United Kingdom. Lomas made his first appearance at the Kempton Park Magistrates Court shortly after being handed over to the Hawks at OR Tambo International Airport. The former Eskom contractor faces 41 charges of corruption linked to a 745 million rands payment concerning the construction of the Kusile power station. He's scheduled to return to court next Friday. Newzroom Afrika's Veronica Makhoali has been following the story throughout the day. She joins me now in studio. Veronica, good afternoon to you. Thanks for your time. 41 charges is what he's facing.
Initially, Vuyo, in fact, that was what we had seen on the extradition papers, as well as what we're hearing from authorities on the ground today at OR Tambo International Airport. But of course, following that successful extradition that we saw unfolding earlier today, where we saw, of course, Michael Lomas back here on South African soil, ready to face those corruption and fraud charges, as he made his first appearance just moments after arriving here in South Africa at the Kempton Park Magistrate Court. That was a very brief appearance, but we did get more information in regards to the extent of just how serious these allegations are that have been leveled against him, with the National Prosecuting Authority, in fact, releasing a statement shortly after his appearance, confirming that, in fact, that Lomas is actually facing 65 counts of corruption linked, of course, to that 1.4 billion rand that was meant for the upgrade and the construction of the Kusile power plant in Mpumalanga. And so, Vuyo, if anyone was wondering why the hype, why so much media focus on the extradition process today, that alone should be enough to, explain how much the state, the police, and I think perhaps even the entity of Eskom have been looking forward to this day. 65 counts of corruption.
Yeah, in fact, we were talking earlier to an analyst was talking about what the parts, that have led to these allegations of corruption and everything and everything else mean in the life of a power station. So you did speak to him. Ask some questions. He seemed to be in a pretty good mood.
I think we saw that right from the beginning. Yeah, very good spirits. But that was essentially one of the first questions we did ask, to say, how are you doing? And the reason for this was because his health was a very big focal point in his extradition hearings, and the many times he had appealed, of course, South Africa's request for him to come and face these charges against him. You would remember that a part of his extradition hearings was that he's, was facing mental as well as physical ailments, and that he was saying that should he be brought back to South Africa, South African prisons would not be able essentially to provide the medical care that he needed. And so it was important to ask this question also, given the fact as when he arrived in the country, there was immediately that image of him in that wheelchair, him with the neck brace on, also speaking to the fact that he's been saying quite profusely since he's been appealing his extradition that he is not in good health to come here to South Africa to face these corruption charges. We spoke to him and he said that he's doing all right as best as he can. We did also ask how the team from SAPS Interpol and those, of course, involved in the extradition process were treating him. And he gave a very fair comment on that, saying that he's been treated graciously. But what was also important for us to know when we had an opportunity to speak to him was whether or not he, accepts these allegations that have been put forward. He says he would not comment on the matter. And he says that his future, in fact, is looking very bleak.
So, and what to next?
That's the big question, Vuyo. He will be back, of course, in court on the 27th of September. That's just next week, Friday, where the matter will be moved to the Palm Ridge Specialized Commercial Crimes Court. As, of course, you would understand, after that process takes place, he is expected to join some of the other accused in this matter in that 745 million rand contract at Eskom, where he will, of course, join those co-accused, and we'll see, of course, where that matter heads to in the High Court in Johannesburg.